First of all, I'm here at a conference being put on by OOGA and also by the Chamber here in Canton, Ohio, and by the City of Canton to try to introduce some businesses, particularly small businesses, to what's going on with the Utica shale find. The most recent reports are that this area of the state, Stark County in particular, is likely to be in the sweet spot, meaning that there's not just natural gas, but also very valuable wet gas and also oil. And so this is a great economic opportunity. I've traveled up and down our state talking to people about this issue over the past year or so, and it is really exciting. I was in Eastern Ohio recently at TMK IPSCO, which is a company that's finishing the pipe that comes from Pennsylvania, threading the pipe for the Utica and the Marcellus find, and for other shale oil and gas finds around the country. They've taken over an abandoned factory. They've added 75 jobs already just in the last year or so. They're looking for another 14 to 17 skilled workers, and 38% of the guys they hired were unemployed. And now those guys have a good job, benefits, they take care of their families, and they're doing what they want to do. Some of them were out of work, others were in retail and other things because they just couldn't find a job as skilled workers, as the technicians that they are, CNC machine operators. They're guys who were trained to do this kind of work. So it's exciting. Yes, it's about the oil and gas, and that's very important. And it's about keeping the price down by having more supply, but it's also about all the manufacturing that's being built up around it. I was at B&M Star looking at their new steel mill, unbelievable, a new steel mill in Youngstown, Ohio, thanks to these finds. Last week I was at U.S. Steel in Lorraine looking at their huge new investment they've made, again, in threading the pipes, preparing the pipes, finishing the pipes. I've also been at other companies that make pumps or that make power systems that go into the process of drilling. I've talked to truck drivers, I've talked to waitresses, people who work in hotels who are benefiting. This is something that's big in a very positive way, and we've got to be darn sure that the regulations from Washington don't ruin it, that we don't over-regulate from Washington, that instead we rely on good, sound regulations state by state. Every state's going to be different hydrology, different geology, and we've got to be sure it's safe, and be sure we're taking environmental precautions. We've got to be sure this is done right, and as it is done right, and as we continue to produce our own resources, we're going to really help our economy, not just here in Stark County, Ohio, but all over our great state and our country.